I'm sorry for disturbing you, but Umar is such a sweet guy. The moment Aliyah heard Umar, she blinked and looked at her friend. What did you say is his name again? She asked, lowering her voice. Umar, she said. Can I see his pictures? She asked, her heart beating faster. It has been 6 months since Aliyah last saw Umar. 6 months of Aliyah swimming in debt. 6 months of Madam Red Flag's break from her red flag sermon. And those 6 months were the hardest. Aliyah now stays indoors, always taking calls, not to place order, but to plead for extension from the people she was owing. Aliyah's roommates, Amina and Fatima, were really supportive. They would always talk to her and even help her look after her shop sometimes. But one morning, Aliyah woke up tired. Not tired from sleep or from the previous day's activities, but tired from everything. She made up her mind to leave Abuja for good. She sold her shops and the goods inside, used part of the money to pay off some of her debts, and left Abuja to Maiduguri, where her cousin stays. Her cousin, Lami, who lives in Maiduguri, welcomed her with an open arm. She made her comfortable in her house, comforting her and even cracking jokes to make her feel better. Lami, just like Aliyah, is a very blunt person. She doesn't paint words, and this made her have few friends. It's been over a month since Aliyah came to Maiduguri, and slowly she began to return to her former self, the Madam Red Flag. But this time, she wasn't doing it to find love herself, but to guide others. She got a job at a marketing firm where she works as a marketing manager. Through the help of Lami, Aliyah began to forget about Umar and focus on her work. One night, as Aliyah sat on the bed discussing with Lami, a message popped up. It was Lami's phone, and she picked it up and smiled. Aliyah noticed that smile as it looks familiar. She said to Lami, Lami, don't allow these men to sweet talk you into becoming helpless. Always look out for red flags. But Lami chuckled and said, Ibrahim is not like that. He is a giver, not a receiver. That's how it started with Umar. I hope you open your eyes, Aliyah added, and laid down to sleep. Lami started coming home late and always smelling of a perfume that is not hers. Whenever she comes home, she would fill Aliyah's ears with the talk of how Ibrahim spoiled her, and Aliyah would always reply her with, I'm happy for you, Lami, but don't forget, red flags. Lami would always tell her not to worry as she is always careful. At work, Aliyah's new work friend would also fill her ears with talks of her own relationship. One afternoon, during lunch break, Aliyah's work friend, as usual, started with her relationship talks. Aliyah, you won't believe where my boyfriend took me to last night. Aliyah, who is already fed up of her relationship stories, snapped. Abba, what is it? You people should leave me alone, please. Every time my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that. Can I rest, please? I'm sorry for disturbing you, but Umar is such a sweet guy. The moment Aliyah heard Umar, she blinked and looked at her friend. What did you say is his name again? She asked, lowering her voice. Umar, she said. Can I see his pictures? She asked, her heart beating faster. Sure, the friend said, and handed her a photo of her boyfriend on her phone. Do you know him? She asked. But Aliyah heaved a sigh of relief and said, No, but the name rang a bell. Meanwhile, Lami was busy with her own boyfriend, and soon Aliyah got tired of hearing Ibrahim this and Ibrahim that. It started on a Saturday evening. Aliyah just got back from work, tired and hungry. But instead of offering her food and rest, Lami started with her boyfriend's talk, and Aliyah, too tired and exhausted for the relationship talks, snapped. Lami, can you allow me breathe? Every time Ibrahim this, Ibrahim that. When am I even meeting the so-called boyfriend? Aliyah said. But that last statement slipped out of her mouth before she could even realize it. Lami froze in excitement. You want to meet Ibrahim? It's a good thing. In fact, let's fix a date tomorrow, Lami said, giggling like a child. Aliyah opened her mouth in shock. She just unknowingly opened the door she wanted to close. But Lami is not one to hear it slipped out of my mouth. The next day, Lami couldn't stop talking about how Aliyah would love Ibrahim. Ya Allah, what did I get myself into? Aliyah would say. Evening came and Aliyah and Lami set out for the date. But when they got to the restaurant, Aliyah sat, looked around, and she asked Lami, "Where is your boyfriend?" "He will be here soon," Lami replied. Bad, that's a red flag. But not long, Ibrahim arrived. Aliyah shouted, "No way, Uma?" Lami laughed and said, "Kai Aliyah, Habamana, this is not Uma. This is Ibrahim, my boyfriend." Aliyah looked at Ibrahim, aka Uma, who was already sweating with a shocked expression. He quickly said, "Lami, baby, I think I have a runny stomach," and left immediately. That action alone shocked Lami. She looked at Aliyah, shocked. Aliyah immediately shouted, "I need his address. He is Umar," and she immediately contacted the police. Lami hesitated at first, but after some time, she gave Aliyah his address. When Aliyah and Lami got to Ibrahim's house, in the company of the police, he was already packing his bags to escape when he was apprehended. Lami cried loudly and Aliyah consoled her. When they got to the station, Ibrahim, or should I say Umar, confessed to being a scammer. His real name was Abubakar, but he changes it every time he meets a woman he wants to scam, so that they won't be able to get him. He confessed to scamming a lot of women. He pleaded for mercy, promising to refund the 20 million naira he took from Aliyah. But karma is like a granite that goes in one and comes out plenty. A video of Abubakar's confession flooded the internet, and a lot of women came out claiming he scammed them as well. Some said he said his name was Usman, others Audu. Abubakar sold everything he had and settled Aliyah and some other women. With nothing left and his reputation ruined, he traveled back to Kano to start farming. But even there, the videos got popular. He was always pointed at and nobody wanted to have anything to do with a scammer. Meanwhile, back at Maiduguri, Lami got quiet. She didn't cry. She was just heartbroken. She was almost an inch to getting scammed by Abubakar. She was grateful for Aliyah, and Aliyah, on the other hand, went to Abuja to settle the remaining people she was owing. And with the remaining money and the little she saved from working at the marketing firm, she opened another shop, bigger than the previous one, at Maiduguri, where she based with Lami. Madam Red Flag got back to her feet fully. Though she opened her heart for love, but this time she loved with her head and not only her heart alone. Thank you for watching this story. Please comment what you think about this story. And please, besties, like, share, comment, and most importantly, please subscribe. Thank you and remain blessed.